Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Supply and Demand Mastery. This video we are going to learn about what is supply and demand zone and how to plot the supply and demand zone together. So first of all, what is supply zone? So supply zone is a zone where we have the accumulation of the selling order, and the demand zone is the accumulation of the buying order. So at the meanwhile, that means supply zone is where we are going to sell, and the demand zone we are going to buy. So first of all, what is the supply zone looks like? So we have two types. First is type of the Rayleigh based drop. So these patterns, how it should looks like. So this is what we call the Rayleigh based drop. Right, so this is the zone where we will mark as our supply zone and wait for the price to get back and retest to this zone, then we are going to sell. So this is what we call the Rayleigh based drop supply zone. And the second type of the supply zone is the drop based drop. So this is how it should look like. Drop, base, doing a base, then the price drop here. Alright, so this is the drop, base, drop. Then this is what we have to plot the zone here and wait for the price to retest the zone, then we sell. So this is a two type of the supply zone we have. One is the Rayleigh based drop, the second one is the drop based drop. So later on we will have some real chart example and looks how it will looks like and how we plot the zone. And the demand zone. The demand zone we have a drop based Rayleigh. This is how it should look like. Drop, then the price is doing the base at the bottom zone, then Rayleigh. Right, so this is the zone we have to mark and wait for the price to hit the zone back, then we buy. So this is one of the buy zone. And another demand zone is Rayleigh base Rayleigh. Right, Rayleigh base Rayleigh. Then this is the zone. We will mark and wait for the zone back to this demand zone, then we are going to buy. Right, so summary, we have four types. Two are the supply zone here, Rayleigh based drop and drop based drop. Then another two are the demand zone with the drop based Rayleigh and Rayleigh based Rayleigh. Okay, so right now let us look at the real chart. So the real chart, when you can take any time frame whatever you like, right? You can take any time frame whatever you like. So when we look at these patterns, right? So this is a downtrend. So for every downtrend, we are looking for the sell. Correct or not? We are looking for the sell. Then we should look for the supply zone. How we plot the supply zone. So right here we aim one by one. So this is one of the supply zone we have, but it didn't touch yet for this zone. When the price have a breakout, then yes, this is another new zone right here. Can you see? This is another new zone with a Rayleigh based drop. A new zone right here. So when this is the zone, then we know this is where we are going to sell. And yes, when the price touch for the second rejection, this is the third rejection, and here another rejection, but the price is slightly go even higher. I think it's because of a news, high impact news time, then the price will fly more or even out of the zone a little bit sometimes. So have to be careful. So when we mark the zone, usually you can mark and plot the last candles before the momentums. Right, can you see? This is a bearish candle. So the last candles of the bullish, you can mark this zone. You can take for the whole candles, the wicks to wicks, right, the whole candles as your supply zone. And this same as well. So when the zone is too big, so how I will smaller down the zone. I will take the body, start from the body until the upper wicks. Right, this is for the supply zone. And for the demand zone, same as well. Right, so this is one of the demand zone of a drop base rally. Can you see? Drop base rally. So this should be the whole candles for this demand zone. But the zone somehow was too big. So usually how I smaller and refine the zone, I will take the body until the lower wicks here. Yes, can you see? When the price touch, it respond again and react well from this demand zone. Of course, when you have a breakout again, then this zone is not valid. When this zone orders has been taken out, that means there is no any new pending order inside the zone. So usually first touch, this is what we call the fresh zone, is the best entry for us. So after that, it's not a good entry anymore, while we know this is the downtrend. You see, the overall structure is still in downtrend. So we should mainly look for the supply zone. And right here, we have another supply zone with a drop base drop. With a drop base drop here. Can you see? So before the last candles, before the momentum. Right, so it's these bullish candles here. So we take for the whole candles and plot the zone and wait patiently until the zone hit and retest. But somehow the price didn't back to the zone and go even further. So this could be happen. Then we can wait and find for another new zone again. So right here, we have one of the zone again here. You see, when the price have a break of structure and have another new lower low, so this is the last candles before the momentums. So this supply zone, yes, defends the price and go even further with another break of structure again. Go even have created another new lower low. So this is the supply zone. This is all the supply zone. But of course, in the betweens, we have a lot of the demand zone as well. So demand zone, you can think this is what we call the roadblock during the downtrend. But for the downtrend, yes, mainly we are looking for the sell. So we should look and plot the higher time frame supply zone as much as possible. Alright, look for the key level in higher time frame. So right here, this is also one of the breakout zone. The price breakout, then we have the zone here with a drop base drop. Can you see? This is a drop base drop zone right here. So we also plot the zone and wait for it, but at the end, the price didn't touch the zone here. Right, miss out the zone here again. And again, the price go even lower and lower into here. So this is how you should plot all the supply zone for the downtrend. Alright, then how about the demand zone? The demand zone also the same. So when we have what we call the this is one of a drop base drop. You see the candles here, drop base drop. But this zone is not powerful, right? This zone is not powerful. So when you want to look for a powerful zone, usually is this kind with the impulsive movement. Impulsive movement. So this is also one of the zone, but end up didn't respect and break another new low again. Right here. So actually not every zone will be respected, but mostly, not every zone will be respected, but most of the zone, yes. Right, most of the zone, yes. 80% and above of the zone will be respected. So there is no 100% of the holy grail setup. So just about the probability and the possibility here. So right here, this is another drop based rally demand zone. Can you see? So the last red candles here before the bullish, and this was a very sharp zone. The price touch and go high, even higher, go even higher, right? So this zone is not fresh anymore. Then we look for another new zone again. So when you see the zone, the trend looks like it's going to reverse. When the trend is going to reverse with another higher high, higher low, so we know this is uptrend. Right, we know this is an uptrend. So when we know this is an uptrend, then what we should look for should be the demand zone. So you can aim for every swing low as your demand zone right here. This is also one of the zone. This is also one of the zone here. Right, this should be the whole candles here. But the zone somehow is too big. Then how you can refine the zone with a lower risk? You smaller down the zone, just take the body here. This is how I usually would do. So this is how we get the sniper entry usually. Right, quite a sniper entry for these candles. Quite a sharp one. Then go even higher again. Here we have another new demand zone. You see when the price forms a new support, this is another new support here. You see this is another new support here. You see the zone? Respect, second touch, price, fly high. Fly high again. And this is also one of the supply zone as well. Right, this is one of the supply zone as well for the candles here. Right, for the candles here. Since this is what we call the outside bar, so usually the outside bar you can take for the whole candles like this as your zone. So can you see? Very sharp again, touch and react. So this is how you can practice yourself and do a lot of back tests on your own for your favorite pair or any time frame. Right, just practice and back test yourself as much as possible for every zone. Then you will find out it's a very interesting, and usually yes, the price mostly it will respect the zone. But of course you have to follow the market direction. So if for the downtrend, you should mainly focus on looking for sell. Just follow the trend. This is how you lower your risk with follow the trends. So for the sell setup, then you should look for every valid and fresh supply zone. Right. So for the uptrend, you should look for the demand zone. How about if the sideway? If the market direction is doing the sideway, so this is a not trade zone. If the structure is doing the sideway, so this is a not what we call the not trade zone. Then you have to wait for the breakout. After the breakout, then when we have a clear direction, then only you plot a new supply and demand zone again and look for the setup together with the zone, right? The valid zone, wait for the zone to retest, only you make the entry. So always be patient and always remember trading in the zone is a must. Right? Trading in the zone is a must to ensure your risk is lower and to maximize our profit as well. So alright, so I think that's all for today's video about supply and demand zone. One setup a day will keep me away. 2 setup a day is not far away. So thank you for watching this video. Please do follow and subscribe this channel and hit the likes button if you like and enjoy and learn something new from this video. Wish you all the best. Happy trading, happy profit, happy life. See you again in the next video. Bye bye.